What's going on, everybody? Team Tron here with Karen's Corner. How's everybody doing tonight?
Howdy, howdy.
So we were going to talk about retro games.
Oh, yeah. Those were fun games. That's when everything first started.
Yep, I remember going to the arcades, playing them, and then the Nintendo came out. But before we got the Nintendo, we had the Atari and the Commodore. My favorite game for the Atari was Asteroids.
Yeah, I liked Asteroids. Galactica and Millipede was my game. I used to take breaks from my job and go over to the arcade and play it on my break and then go back to work.
Tabletop Pac-Man,
Yeah.
that was good.
I used to love Pac Man, but then as I got older, I didn't have the patience for it.
Well, that's because they changed the style of the game.
Yeah.
They made it into a 3D character, and you just run around on a map. It was never like the old days. You just sit there and run through the little maze and collect
then-
stuff.
Zelda and Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah.
Remember those?
Yep.
Those were fun.
Yeah, my favorite ones were the ones that were for the 64 Donkey Kong games.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed those ones.
Things have changed a whole lot.
Oh yeah. Then they play just like one time PlayStation and Nintendo was supposed to get together and make a system together, and I don't know what happened between the two companies, but it never happened. And Nintendo went one way and PlayStation went the other way, and of course I like both systems, so I went with Nintendo, and I had the PlayStation 1, 2. I still have my 2 and my 3, and I got a PS4. That's where I stopped at because they were having so many problems with the PlayStation 5. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be part of that problem, for the fact that they started using liquid metal between the sinks. Well, a lot of people stood it up vertical, and what happens when you got liquid in there? Gravity does its job, so people lost a lot of circuit boards that fried them. I wasn't going to be part of that statistic of losing my PlayStation, so I just really never got one.
You remember having with your Nintendo, take your games out and blow into the cartridge
Yeah.
and put it back in?
Yeah.
I had, what was it, Duck Hunt? Then they came out with Terminator, and I had the gun, the big bazooka gun
Right.
for Terminator. Oh man, I could shoot up some stuff on some Terminator. Now that I'm older, it's simple games for me.
Yeah.
I don't get into no complex games.
Well, growing up, I never had the chance to get a Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, or anything like that. The 3DS. Well, now I can go get a 2DS and a 3DS. Now that I'm older, but growing up with 4 brothers, my parents couldn't buy just one little thing for one of us. They had to get 4 of them, and when they came out, they were pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed out on all the fun Pokemon games, and so I really never got into Pokemon until they came out with Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, and I had to pick one because I couldn't afford both. So I picked Let's Go Eevee, but I do like the evolutions, but unfortunately you can't evolve the Eevee you get, so you got to go out and catch a whole nother Eevee just to evolve to the Pokemon you want, and you only got the 3 evolutions. You didn't get like the Umbreon or nothing else like that in the game, so I had to stick with either Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon.
It's been, when my oldest daughter was younger, it's been almost 30 years since then.
Yep.
Time has flown by so fast.
It has. Like the internet that we have now. We're on Verizon Fios. But I remember we used to have to put a CD in our
AOL.
AOL CD, and you get a little over 1,000 hours of free internet. and we would just reboot a new CD and put in a new password just to keep the internet. It was crazy. And then on the Commodore 64, since it was a computer, you had to have a modem, and all you hear is until you hung the phone up on it. It was crazy. And
If we wanted to get through to people and we knew they were on their game, we would just keep dialing the phone number till it knocked them off the internet.
yeah. Yeah, you can't do that no more now though. But yeah, but that's what we used to do. Like if we would call home, and nobody, we kept getting that business signal because they was on the computer or whatever. We just kept calling until we bumped them off the internet.
Sometimes they'd be so mad.
They would be, but today's generation doesn't understand that. And like a lot of them, like, well, how come Gen Z never had to be home by a certain time and everything else when the lights came on or whatever? Back then,
Gen X.
No, so they're going after the Gen X people, asking you, making it like it was a big deal that we're feral. But the thing is, we always checked in with our parents, and the way we checked in with our parents was go find a payphone, make a collect call. Hey, this is such and such. I'll be home at such and such time,
and then hang up
before they can even accept the phone. The
I remember that.
And that's how we communicated back.
Hey, Mom, come and get me.
Right, and
okay, I'm on my way.
But I mean, it was the good old days, and even though we had video games, our parents still had us go outside and play because they didn't think that we needed to sit there and rot our brains in front of a TV all day long.
Use your imagination.
And we did.
Go out and play.
We had tree houses. We had a creek that ran underneath our tree house and everything. We had fun times. And the best I can remember all the best times I had. When I got into skateboarding, me and my friends would walk down the railroad track down to the skate shop. We walked about 3 miles.
We go through tunnels and stuff where there was water and all. We'd search through them and see if there was anything in there or anybody in there. But when it came to the dark tunnels, oh no, we wouldn't go in there.
Yeah, because when I was in middle school, we went to I think it was Stoddard Stallion Middle, and one of the sewers actually went through the parking lot of the school, and off to the side there was a path that we used to take, and right there where the path was a creek, and it came up to the sewer lines. So we used to take our skateboards, stay on skateboards, go through the sewers, go past the school, and come up on the other side. Where if we didn't want to go to school, if we skipped school, we used the sewers.
The tunnels.
We used sewers to skip school.
Me and my cousin, after we get out of school, it was like a big community, but dead in the middle was like a creek. And you'd have to go through one way in order to get to the other side and all that. Well, we used to go in the creek and collect tadpoles, bring them home and watch them turn into frogs.
Yeah, we've done that. We've had snakes, we had lizards, we've had turtles.
I didn't go that far.
Well, I mean, you're a female, so you're gonna go for the less dangerous things. And me and my brothers always went for lizards and snakes. We always went for like black snakes and the different fence lizards and stuff like that, and skinks. But we never really fooled around with the poisonous.
What was the ones y'all used to put on your ears, like earrings?
Skinks.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were the 5-line skinks. But I mean, those were fun times. But now, if you ask me things about when I was a kid, I couldn't tell you because when I was skateboarding, we was in the middle of a downhill jam, and back then we thought we were invincible. We didn't have to wear pads, nothing like that.
Think you're Superman.
Took a curve 80 miles an hour, broke the curve with my head, but it gave me a real good concussion.
Is that what's wrong? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with me. I had a real bad concussion, didn't wake up till like a week later, and everything that I can't remember nothing from when I was young. Nothing at all. And it's never come back to me.
We can remember those games, though.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love playing Mario Brothers and Zelda.
Well, you figure, the games are still here,
Mhm.
and I own, like I said, a PlayStation 2, a PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. Uh, got games on my PC. I got my Nintendo Switch. So I'm always
You
playing
got
games.
something.
I got something I can do.
At least it buys your time.
It buys my time and it helps me make videos. Oh, did I tell you what I did?
Well,
Um, you remember when I was talking about I was going to do a documentary, Life with Josie?
uh-huh.
Well, I decided to break it down in episodes. Episode 1, Episode 2. I already released Episode 1 on YouTube. I figured I'd do that instead of me putting it together, making a full documentary, putting it on DVD, and putting it on Patreon. So if people wanted to see it, they didn't have to pay to go see it. So I figured I'd break it down in episodes. And it's a beautiful story of a beautiful cat that got her life saved.
I got a video of her just doing circles. That's all she's doing is circles. She's got her little traits that she has to do each day. She's like a little old woman.
She is, but I mean, she's great. She filled that hole in that I was missing when Maggie passed away.
Yeah.
Um,
She was left for dead.
she really was.
I nursed her back to health, and then she took a liking to you, and ever since then, you guys have been inseparable.
Yeah, I didn't. My honest truth, I didn't think she was gonna make it that night. I really did.
A lot of people didn't think she would.
Well, I mean, you figure you're hit by a car in a box.
Well, it took a while for her to get her neck controlled, and then she went from that to jumping on things. That is what amazed me, because I didn't think she'd ever be able to.
Well, it took her a long time to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Just like now, she's not scared to jump up on the counters in the kitchen for the mice that run around in there. But now she's doing it. But there for a while, she wouldn't do it,
Mm-hmm.
and she'd always try to climb up the cabinet, but she could
No,
never
she'd
make it.
climb up those drawers to get up there like stair steps.
Mhm.
And I'd always go out in the kitchen in the morning and say, "Who keeps opening all these drawers?"
And
It was her.
And it shows she's trying to get up on the counter.
And finally, she decided to just. Oh, I forgot to tell you, one of them tore that chair up in the kitchen too. The retro chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to be fixed. Uh-huh.
A lot of the furniture needs to be fixed from these cats.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're like, well, she needs a friend now, and I'm like, oh god.
She needs to be a mama.
I'm like, oh god, another cat.
Was I wrong?
No, you weren't wrong at all. I give you that. You were right. And when we got Gaia, she took a liking to Gaia. Gaia took a liking to her. She raised Gaia like she was her kitten.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, they stick together.
Birdie's that little old lady that harasses kids.
She really is. She does. She does. She loves Guy, but she doesn't like Josie at all.
She stays to herself, and she's always trying to break in the room. I'll let her in once in a while, but she sheds too much.
She really does.
She's a good cat, though. I don't know who gave her up.
That I would like to know. It's pretty bad. Instead of saying, hey, I can't take care of my cat no more. Can somebody take care of my cat? Put it in the paper or something.
Mm-hmm.
I would have answered you and said, yeah, I'll take your cat. Bring it to me. Don't have me go to a cemetery chasing a cat around. Well, actually, I didn't have to chase her around. She just looked up at me and the rest of us, and
She was
And we
waiting
just-
for a home.
and we just picked her up, and she came home with us, and she's been here ever since. And
They were all rescues.
what surprises me is, Josie likes to go outside, but that's the part of the cat that's mixed in with her.
Mm-hmm.
Likes the outside. Gaia won't go near the door. You open the door, she's gone. Birdie won't even go near the door. Birdie don't even want to go back outside.
They remember where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Guy has always been on the defense side a little bit, because there were foxes out there. And they had to fend for themselves, and she was real young.
Yeah, she was a kitten when we got her,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
and her
minute I saw her, I was like, she's mine.
yeah, because she was still white when we got her. Her Siamese part of her didn't even kick in yet.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple months after we had her, you can start seeing the color change.
Well, I cage trained her first, and then I saw that she wanted to go further. So I put food and litter and water on the floor in the bedroom. And whenever she wanted out, she'd just sit there and hit her paw on the cage. And I was like, okay. So I let her out. She'd play and lay with me and everything. And then when she was ready to go in, she let me know. I put her
Yep.
back in. And then I saw she liked yarn. So I started hanging yarn from the top of the cage. I woke up one morning, she's in there batting that thing all over the place. I was like, I knew that would work. It kept her occupied for a little bit.
But I imagine Birdie had it rough out there.
Mm-hmm.
Outside with all the mother cats. I mean, I would rescue them all, but we don't have the room for them.
No.
And I mean, but she was tore up
Yeah,
bad.
she
And
was.
it took every bit of a good year to get her to clear up and her
She-
fur to come back full and no more scabs and stuff like that.
Yep. She looks good now. She's just fat. That's all.
Oh yeah, when she when she,
Garfield ain't got nothing on her.
now when she goes to breadloaf, she looks like a turkey.
Yeah. I'm like, look at that spread.
Oh yeah, she looks like a big old turkey ready to go in the oven.
But she's a very loving cat.
She is.
When you start petting her, she starts licking you. She wants to thank you. That's my girl.
And she's a very loving cat. That's why, like you said, I'm surprised somebody wanted to give her up.
Yeah.
All you had to do is put it in the paper. I would have been like, yeah, she kind of looks like my old cat that passed away. I'll definitely take that.
Yep.
Bring her to me. I'll take her
She's
off your
taken a
hands.
liking to me for some reason. I don't know why. But
Yeah.
she's got to be by my feet or by my side. If I go into the bathroom, she's got to be at the bathroom door or in front of the bedroom door. I about fell into the bathroom door the other night because I didn't see her in the hallway. It was dark. Well, she jumped real quick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she took a liking to you, and we got Gaia for you, but she took a liking to me too.
She's in between the two of us now.
She is. But I mean,
Josie has her time with me when she wants to. It's on her terms.
But if you watch her sometimes, she'll look at me like, "Is it okay?" And I'm like, "I don't care."
Yeah, exactly. And the minute you go up to the store or anything, oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's got real bass.
She's deaf and she doesn't realize how loud she is.
Yeah, she got separation anxiety real bad too.
Yeah, she does.
But
She's learning.
but I was told to get one of those backpacks that's got like the bubble in it for
Mhm.
for your cats, and they told me to start taking her with me. That way she'll start calming down. Just to see that I'm not going anywhere because I can't go far because of my leg.
Right.
So that, it's not like I'm going away anywhere. It's either right up, just right at the street right here to the store or to the doctor's. Those are the only places I go. I don't go nowhere else but the doctor's and just right
If
up the
you
street.
leave and she's asleep,
She's
she's
fine.
fine.
Or she doesn't see me leave.
Right. If she sees you leaving, oh boy, all hell breaks loose.
What gives it away is when I put my hat on my head.
She knows.
She knows I'm getting ready to go out that door.
And then the minute you leave, she's up in that window or she's behind me at the door at the highest pitch. It's like somebody putting their nails down on a chalkboard sometimes, and I just want to wring the cat's neck.
Yeah, she sees me touch my cane, touch my hat, or touch the keys to the house.
Yep.
She's ready.
I'm like, oh God, here we go.
Well, I mean, she's a good cat overall, though.
She is. She's earned her keep.
I mean, I wouldn't give her up for anything just for the fact that the next people wouldn't know how to deal with her.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned a lot having her.
I thought it was funny when we first got her, and I'm like, why isn't she listening to us? And you're like, I don't know. I don't get it. And then I wake up the next morning, you said, Karen, I think she's deaf. And I was like, huh? And you started snapping behind her, and she wasn't turning around. She's the only cat that will stay around when you vacuum.
She is. The other one's
When it
scattered.
was lightning outside, she's just sitting there looking out the window.
Yeah, when 4th of July, all the cats scattered. She's sitting in the window watching them.
Exactly. Because she couldn't hear.
She was enjoying the light show.
But we've learned by hand signals, tapping her. She learned from me when I point my finger at her and shake my finger. She knows I mean no.
Yeah.
So she picked up on that real quick.
She did.
Then she'll back up and stop doing what she's doing.
Oh yeah, she loves to torture Birdie.
Uh huh.
She really well, only because she's bigger than she's not bigger around, but she's taller.
Right.
So she intimidates Birdie for some reason. I'm like, you outweigh her about 100 pounds.
Yeah, but it's hard for her to run. But at least she's getting her exercise up the steps.
True. It's getting a little bit of exercise.
You gotta look at it in a positive way.
Put her on a wheel.
Oh, wow. She's not a hamster.
Now they make wheels for cats. I think if we get one for Josie, I think Josie might settle down a little bit because then, well, she sleeps all day and then she terrorizes all night.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a herd of elephants running through the living room. Her and Gaia.
Yep. It's real funny because Guy goes, and then falls over. It's like, what in the world?
She's dramatic.
She's very dramatic.
She's very good for Siamese. I've seen some nasty Siamese.
Well, my mom had a real nasty one that used to tear her up. My
Yep.
mom could sneeze and that cat was attacking her.
Nah, it don't work that way.
I'm like, Mom, why don't you get rid of that cat and get a new cat? That cat's broken or something.
Mhm.
You sneeze and it's attacking you, and that's not good at all.
Oh, Guy will love up on you, give you kisses. I spoil them too because every month I get them that big thing of wet food and their treats in a big jug. And then when the treats are gone, it's like they're looking for something. You're like, I'm sorry, I don't have no more. That's why I started getting the wet food.
Yeah.
At least it'll last to a certain
A
point.
lot cheaper than tuna fish.
Yeah.
Guy loves some tuna fish though. One of them, when I made that tuna salad,
Mhm.
I saved all the water from the tuna fish cans. One of them tore that water up overnight. I'm not sure if it was Birdie, if it was Gaia, because Josie was in the room most of the time with me.
Gaia likes some seafood.
She does. Me and her sat here when I got that shrimp platter,
Mhm.
and I was peeling the bread off the shrimp, and I was handing her the shrimp, and she was eating it, and then I was eating one. So me and her sat right here and shared
One for you, one for me.
Yeah, we sat here and shared my shrimp dinner one day.
Animals are just like children. Our children grew up, moved out on their own, and now we got more children.
Oh yeah, Josie's the biggest one out of all of them.
She's the one that talks back too.
Gaia talks back too,
Sometimes.
which is like the other day. I proved you wrong. You're like, Gaia ain't gonna listen to you when you tried to pet her and she wouldn't let you.
Mhm.
And I kept saying, Gaia, go over there and let mommy pet you. And she turned around and walked over there to you and let you pet her. And I'm like, she'll listen. She's hard headed,
Just like Josie. She follows a lot of Josie's traits.
and she does. Josie's taught her how to be bad.
Mhm.
I got your water over here, girl. If you want some water, you gotta come over here on the desk and get it.
She's looking for it too.
Yeah, she's over there looking for my Arctic Air to drink the water out.
She's a weird one.
Let me see if I got something over there I can give her water in.
Anybody else out there have pets? If so, what kind do you have? We lost one of our, well, actually our only dog we had a little while back. She had cancer. But she's the one that found out that I had cancer and would not leave me alone. And I could not figure out why. I went to go get my exam and found out I had cancer. But once the cancer was clear, she was back to her old self. It's just weird how animals know things.
That's the picture of the dog that you see up there. That's the same picture Karen's Corner uses for her YouTube channel, and
That's my baby.
that's the dog that passed away. She was basically our support animal because both of us are disabled, so all of our animals pretty much are support animals for us.
She would come up and sleep with me in the afternoon and go down and sleep with you in the evenings.
Yep. I always wake up every morning with Avery next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And now that she's not there no more, I wake up and I have
Josie.
Josie laying in my arms. Well, Avery slept in between my legs, and Josie has to be up in my arms.
Mm-hmm.
But Josie sleeps with me every night. And then she'll wake me up to let her out if I'm too tired to make it down the steps, depending on how much medicine I have to take.
Oh, if she don't wake you up, she wakes me up.
She woke me up this morning to let her out.
That's because I was already downstairs. She woke me up in the hallway with that loud meow. Neighbors' dogs.
Yeah, our neighbors got like 6 chihuahuas over there. I don't know why they need so many dogs, but they got 6 of them. And they're always loud. Good thing I can say about Avery is when I took her outside, she didn't bark. She just went and did her business, came back in, and she didn't bark unless you started playing with her, got her going.
She never went to the street either.
No, she went. Even though our fence is weird, she went straight in, like she went into the fenced area, did her business, came back in the house, but she never barked at anybody.
She didn't like the rain though.
No, she didn't like the rain, but I'll go out there with her and I would stand up on the porch and I would watch her, and like if people walk by, she kind of watched them, but she never barked at them. And I've gotten a lot of compliments from a lot of people. Oh, she don't bark. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't know why she won't bark at nobody, but she doesn't do it. And she'd come in the house and like if I went to the store or something, came back, then she started barking. And
They'll let me know somebody's there.
Yep. And anytime somebody touched the door, she'd bark. But other than that, she was always a quiet dog. You never knew she was here.
Oh, she'd go crazy if we went to the doctor's and came back. It's like, it seemed like to her it was like weeks.
Yeah.
And it was only a couple of hours.
Yeah, she got a little too excited sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to cut it here, and we'll talk to y'all in the next one. See
Y'all
ya.
take care.